Hey everybody, welcome to this B1 English listening practice video. You can use this video to practice your listening and comprehension as I speak. Before we start, remember to sign up for our $1 listening practice seminars and download my free listening time podcast so you can practice your listening skills. So today I'm going to talk about phones. I was talking about this topic the other day and I got to thinking about how important phones are in our everyday lives. So let's talk a little bit about this. Let's go briefly through the history of phones. Even though some basic version of the telephone had been invented earlier, Alexander Graham Bell is usually credited with an invention since he won the first US grant for it. A grant is a government license given to someone who comes up with an idea for an invention. It excludes other people from making or selling this invention for a certain number of years. So Alexander Graham Bell received a grant for the telephone in 1876. Prior to that, people couldn't talk over long distances. They could only send messages through telegraph or some other means. You can imagine how revolutionary this invention was when suddenly people could talk and have their voice heard in a different location. It must seem like really advanced technology at that time, but obviously telephone didn't just become common household items overnight. It would be decades before this device became commonplace. At the turn of the century, there were still fewer than 1 million phones in use. One big milestone in the development of phones was the first transcontinental phone call, which was made from New York to San Francisco in 1915. Nowadays, this might not seem like a huge feat, but this type of long-distance communication was completely unheard of at that time. The telephone was changing the way people thought about communication. Over the next few decades, many more millions of households installed landlines, and the telephone became the king of communication. Then, fast forward to 1973, the work was the introduction of the first cell phone made by Motorola. But if you're thinking that this cell phone brought any instance of today's phone thing again, the first mobile phone was a monster. It definitely couldn't fit in anyone's pocket. Later on, in 1989, the first flip phone appeared on the market. A flip phone is a phone that you open like this, the type of phone that I had growing up. In 1992, the first text message was in between phones. Obviously, today text messages are an essential function of all cell phones, and people communicate more through messages than they do through calls. Come to think of it, it seems like people try to avoid calling and instead send text messages whenever possible. Another cell phone feature that we take for granted nowadays is the camera. The first camera phone came out in Japan in 1999 and then later on in the rest of the world. And then finally, in 2007, the first cell phone came out, stunning the world with its revolutionary design and touchscreen display. Even though there were already smartphones in existence at that time, the iPhone really brought smartphones onto scene. After that, other companies followed suit and started releasing smartphone after smartphone. Nowadays, it seems like practically everyone who can afford it has a smartphone. This device has become a necessity of many people's lives, and most people spend many hours every week using it. Actually, a lot of people don't even use the computer that much anymore because they can do everything from their phone. If you had told people just a few decades ago about the cell phone of today, they probably wouldn't have believed you. Who knows what type of innovation we might see with the phones in the future? I guess we have to wait and see. Okay, now I'm going to ask you 3 questions about today's video. Write your answer in a comment down below. Number 1, in what years was the first transcontinental phone call made? Number 2, what company made the world's first cell phone? And number 3, what important cell phone feature was first added in 1992? Okay, before we go, remember to sign up for $1 listening practice seminars and download my free listening time podcast to improve your listening skills. And of course, subscribe to the channel, click on the bell, and follow us on Instagram. I'll see you next time.